Hey, this is Mr. A and welcome to your first instructional video. Today's lesson is going to be on flipped science instruction, but it's also a video on how to take notes from an instructional video. So if you haven't already, stop the video, get out your paper and your erasable pen. You don't have to have an erasable pen, but that is my writing utensil of choice. So go ahead and get out your note paper and your writing utensil. On your notebook paper, I want you to set up this format for Cornell Notes. And if you've never heard about Cornell Notes before, that's just a fancy way of doing things a certain way. So what I want you to do is to take your paper and say, this is your paper. This is your piece of notebook paper. Maybe it's got 3 rings on it right here. And I want you to draw a big I. And this is just sectioning off space on your paper where you're going to take notes at. So at the top you're going to write what the lesson is and the date, and most of your notes you're going to take right here in the middle. At the bottom you're going to summarize, and over here on the side you're going to write any questions that you have. So do you remember what I told you today's lesson is about? It's about flipped science instruction. So why don't you go ahead and write that at the top of your page. Okay. So I'm going to start to talk about flipped science instruction, and as you hear me mention the main points, then you're going to write the main points of the lecture right here in the big section. Okay? So the first main point that I want to talk about is when I learned how to teach science, they told me about the 5 E's. The 5 E's are engage, explore, explain, extend, and evaluate. I'm going to be writing pretty fast. The neat thing about doing this on video is that you can stop the video when you need to catch up. So I'm not going to slow down and wait for you. In fact, I'm going to speed up the tape while I'm writing because I know that you can stop and catch up later. The 5 E's of science instruction, this is basically how you're supposed to conduct a science class. Engage, you want to get the class excited about what's going to be taught. So you might have, I don't know, a video or a demo or something to catch your attention or get your interest. Explore, this is very important in science. We want students of science to really get in, get their hands dirty, get their hands on the subject matter, to play with it. But we don't necessarily want to tell you what to do all the time. We want you to kind of figure it out for yourself, or at least try to figure it out for yourself. For some students that can be really frustrating, but that's okay, because I'm going to explain it later. So explore is hands-on activities. You know, that might be a lab, right? As I said, I want you to do the hands-on activity, I want you to do the lab, and then I'll explain it to you. So that would be your lecture and notes. Alright, are you writing all this on your Cornell Notes? Extend, that's where after you fooled around with it yourself for a little bit, and then I've explained it to you, then you go, oh yeah, now I get it. So then you're going to practice it, right? Once you've done all that, then I can give you a quiz on it, right? Because I've given you a lot of opportunities to learn this stuff. Right? And then, hey, if you get it, we do the cycle again on the next subject matter. And if you don't get it, well, maybe you got to go back and practice a little more, right? All right. So this is the 5 E's of science instruction. Now let's get to the flip part. What does the flipping mean? Okay. So back on your Cornell Notes, here are your 5 E's, and you wrote all that out. Now I want you to write flipped classroom. In a flipped classroom, you do your lecture and your notes at home through video instruction like we're doing right now. And then you do your homework in class. You do the problems in class. You try to solve problems when the teacher's around, when I'm around and try to help you. You don't need me to help you take notes. Everybody knows how to take notes. And some people go at different paces, so it's actually better if you do this on your own time, right? And you come into class prepared, and then we get to work on the hard stuff, the problem solving, the critical thinking. That's when you need my help, right? So in a flipped classroom, the lecture and notes are at home. Okay? So what do we do in class? We do the problem solving, right? Okay? So, you know, that could be a worksheet. Or this could be the hands-on activities. This could be the lab. Right? The point is that I'm here in class to help you. And when do you need the help the most? When you're trying to solve problems, when you're trying to do the homework kind of stuff, when you're trying to do the hands-on activities in the labs. You don't need me when I'm just lecturing, right? But I'm going to help you do all of this in a flipped science classroom. So let me kind of try to put this together for you. All right, so your third point on your notes, you're going to write flipped science class, and then you're going to write the 5 E's. You know what, let's skip engage, because I don't always do that. I might do that at the beginning of the unit, but that's not something I do for every lesson. Let's start with explain. That's the lecture and notes. And then, when you come into class, then we're going to extend it. We're going to practice. Let's just call it a worksheet. Worksheet kind of stuff you can do. And then after you practice it, then I can quiz you. Alright? So where does the fun stuff, where do the hands-on activities, where do the labs come in? That comes after the quiz. After I've tested you on the previous subject, then I'm going to turn you loose to do something fun. You're going to explore. Alright? Explore. And then, so you're going to explore in class. You're going to quiz in class. You're going to practice in class. And all you're really doing at home is listening to a video and taking some notes. So, the bad news is you're going to have homework pretty much every day. The good news is it's really, really easy. Okay? So this is how our class is going to flow. So, explain, lecture, you do at home, and all this we do in class. Alright? So, let's summarize. Remember, in your going to Cornell Notes, this is where we're going to summarize right now. The flipped class allows me to spend more time with students when they really need it, and allows students to do their independent work at home. So, can you summarize that and put it in the bottom? Questions? If you have any questions about this, that's where you jot them in right there. In fact, I'm going to require that you come up with some good questions about the lecture and about what you've taken down in your notes, so that when you come into class, we can answer those questions, right? Because usually in an in-class lecture, if you have questions, hey, you raise your hand, right? You can't really do that at home, but you can write those questions on your notes, and then I'll address them first thing when you come in. I think it's going to be pretty fun, don't you? All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to do lots more of this. So, bye for now.